Welcome, spiritual travelers, to a Mystic Owl Pick a Card reading. Today we're doing the theme of what you can expect for the next 6 months, so for the last half of 2020. What blessings and guidance is coming your way. We have 5 piles today. Pile 1, pile 2, pile 3, pile 4, and pile 5. I'm going to get a rune as a place marker for each of them, and I will add to the reading. So for pile 1, that is your rune. Pile 2, your rune. Pile 3, your rune. Pile 4, and finally pile 5. So please use your intuition. Maybe go have a look at the runes again and see if any of them ignite something inside of you. Remember, this is a general reading, so take only that which resonates with you and leave the rest behind. And let's move on to pile 1. Welcome, pile 1. You have the rune of Pertho, which is the rune associated with taking a risk, changing something in your reality. Maybe things are a little bit stagnant or stale, and it's time for you to change it up somehow. Let's see how that relates to the rest of your cards, and for what blessings and guidance are coming your way for the next 6 months from July to December 2020. Let's start with your tarot cards. Oh, you have the Queen of Coins. Lovely. Shine bright like a diamond. You have the Strength card in reverse. Okay. Waning Moon. What do you need to release? Interesting. Along with the rune of Pertho, making a change. What do you need to release? Oh my god, okay, there you go. Take a divinely guided chance. It says, all positive change and successful venture involves a degree of risk, and you are ready to follow your divine guidance to new territories as you leave behind that which is comfortable and familiar but no longer appropriate to you. You make room for new and more meaningful opportunities. Okay. You have the Crown Chakra. Lovely. Oh, and you have the number 46, the Inspiration. Ideas, spark, conception, and impulse, right, which is also related to the Crown Chakra. So you have 2 cards from the same deck related to the Crown Chakra. I see a very attuned group. I see a group that probably is in regular contact with their spirit guides, or at least are quite spiritual to some degree. And the reason I say that is that, well, clearly you've got 2 cards here related to the Crown Chakra and Inspiration. You've also got here an indigo or a mauve color in the Taking a Divinely Guided Chance card, related to your 3rd eye or mind chakra. The Queen of Pentacles here has a gem on her 3rd eye and is wearing a crown. And along with the waning moon, along with the waning moon with this sort of like bluish indigo color, a group that is quite sort of divinely guided, I sense, and is in regular contact with your spirit guides or angels. You're being asked to take a chance, pile 1, and to change your life somehow. I sense that you've had an epiphany recently, or some sort of inspiration, something that you wanted to do for a very long time, but maybe haven't had the courage or the strength to do it yet. And the cards are basically saying now is the time for you to like take that risk and to go after your dreams and desires. Remember that the card here of divinely guided chances says when you actually make room by releasing what's comfortable, new opportunities will just come to you and flow to you. This is going to lead you to ultimate abundance and success too. But I do sense that there's a little bit of fear here in terms of actually going after this inspiration. And that makes sense because, doing something new that you've never done before or taking a chance on a new direction in life is quite scary because you don't know if it's going to be successful. You don't know if you have the skills to achieve what you need to do, or if you're going to be guided on your way. But the universe is saying that you actually have all of the skills that you need here, and that this inspiration is divinely guided to you. It's something that you're supposed to do. With the card of Pertho, with the rune of Pertho and the waning moon, what do you need to release? I get two messages from that. First, I sense that it's about overcoming fear, or a sense of not being able to achieve something, that you will be successful when you actually take a chance on whatever this is, whether it be a new career path or potentially a move, maybe telling that special someone how you feel about them. Whatever it is that you feel inspired to do but have had a little bit of hesitation to do, the universe is saying now is the time because you are backed and guided to do so. I am also sensing with what do you need to release. It's about changing direction to some degree. That the path that you're on, even though it may have been successful in your past, I sense that maybe it's not bringing you ultimate satisfaction and joy. And this is a real opportunity now to capitalize on some new energy, to feel inspired and to actually go after something new that actually will bring you happiness and that will lead to ultimate abundance. This new opportunity will allow you to also provide for the needs of other people, your loved ones, the people that you care about. With the Queen of Pentacles here, she's the compassionate leader that has everything that she needs and is satisfied with everything that she has around her and what she's achieved in life, and is willing to share that with her loved ones and people that are also in need. A very spiritual group and very sort of spiritually inclined. Just trust in those messages that you're receiving and overcome this fear, pile one, because this inspiration that you are tapping into is divinely guided, and just know that now is the time to really take a risk and to follow your dreams. Beautiful. On that pile one, let's get some further messages for you from the 5-cent tarot deck about what else is coming your way in the next 6 months. Ooh, let's just put those back. I am seeing here too, with the waning moon, it looks like it's winter. There's a lot of snow. It looks very cold and not so much dreary. I think snow is beautiful, but a little bit sort of stale and not a lot of fresh energy recently. Along with the Strength card in reverse, I sense that you've gone through a bit of a period where you've just felt a little bit of doubt or uncertainty. But I think you're coming out of that now. You're starting to feel more inspired again and alive, and wanting to make a change and to go after something new. If you have wanted to move, I sense this is basically a good opportunity to move somewhere new. I am also seeing here with the card of Strength, Strength being associated with the star sign of Leo. And Leo being the king, right? The lion, Leo is the king. Along with the Queen of Pentacles, you're supposed to lead. You're supposed to be in the limelight somehow. And I sense that maybe you've been a little afraid of putting yourself out there. But I think the universe is basically guiding you to start believing in yourself and to start putting yourself out there a little bit more. Pile one. It doesn't necessarily have to be in the public eye. But just in terms of like your career path, maybe going after that promotion if you wanted a promotion, a new job potentially, or telling that special someone how you feel about them. Your tarot cards. You have the Death card in reverse. Okay. It's a stagnation. Fear of change. Wow. And resistance. It's exactly what I was talking about. I sense that you felt a bit down, a bit low, a bit stagnant, as if things haven't really been, not so much that things haven't been working out for you, but you just felt a bit like as if you're lost and maybe not on the right path. And universe is saying now it's time for you to make that change, to overcome this fear of change that you have here with the Strength card, fear of change, and the rune of Pertho, and take the risk. And your next tarot card, is the Three of Cups. Friendship, community, and collaboration. And what I'm getting from that for you is that when you actually go after this change, pile one, believe that you deserve to be sort of the leader and taking control of your own life and following your dreams, making this change that you've wanted to make, this inspiration that you've tapped into, then you'll also have the ability to provide for those people around you that you really care for, your community. Because you'll be the Queen of Pentacles, standing in her own power, abundant and satisfied with everything she's achieved in her own world. It'll be a cause for celebration. This is a beautiful reading for you, Pile 1. It's all about you believing in yourself, following this divinely guided inspiration and actually taking those steps to overcoming your fear. And you have the ability to do it because you're being strongly guided by your spirit guides. And finally for you, Pile 1, I've just got a new Oracle deck, the Sana Muerta Oracle deck that I haven't used yet in a reading, so I've decided to use it today. But I've never used it before, so I'm just going to read the message from the guidebook about it. Ooh, there's your card, just there. Ah, okay. The skull. But with the light on inside, the light burning bright, I see inspiration again. You're feeling inspired. This is a divinely guided sort of inspiration and something that you should tap into. It's also the number 8, which is the number of abundance and luck, indicating that when you make this change, luck will be on your side and it will provide all of your needs, Pile 1. But let's read the message for more insight. Number 8, light. The first world of emanations come to the end with this card. This card represents the entrance point through which creation can manifest itself into the world. Lovely. It encompasses potential and purity without limitations of shape, capable of illuminating and feeding anything it comes into contact with, like a sun, with generosity and vitality. A beautiful message. Oops, sorry. The advice of the dead. A source of pure energy feeds and lights your journey. Here you go. Proceed in your projects without hesitation. Any shadow will be dispelled. That is beautiful and is completely on point with the message that I was indicating for you, Pile 1. It's really time for you to go after your dreams and to change your path. This light, this divine inspiration, just know that it is divinely guided, and your spirit guides, your angels are here supporting you on this journey. You have the ability to overcome your fear and to take a risk. And it will be ultimately successful with the Queen of Pentacles here and with the number 8 and the light card. This will bring you satisfaction and will be a cause for celebration because you'll actually achieve something that you never thought you could imagine. Beautiful reading for you, Pile 1. I hope it resonated with you. If it did, please like and subscribe. And let's move on to Pile 2. Hello, Pile 2. You have the rune of Othala, which is the rune of ancestral inheritance. Your assets that have been handed down to you from your past loved ones, your ancestors. It's also related to ancestral knowledge too, so it can be associated with like tapping into a greater wisdom that has been passed down through your generations. Let's see how that impacts your 2020, the next 6 months, by looking at your tarot and oracle cards. Let's see what guidance and blessing is in store for you from July to December. You have the 8 of Swords. And you have the Ace of Wands. Nice. Oh, you have the card of Full Moon, Surrender to the Divine. Interesting. You have the card of Forgiveness, Letting Go, Healing, Growth, and Compassion. You have the card of Face Your Financial Fears. When you are honest with yourself about fears of success or failure, they can no longer control you. Be free of hidden fears by exposing them to the light of awareness, and you'll realize that you in fact have nothing to fear, and that every successful person has struggled with this and released these self-doubts. Okay. And your final card is Relationships. Number 9, Intimacy, Freedom, Acceptance, and Trust. I see a couple of messages here for you, Pile 2, so just take which resonates. The first one I see is a group that are really trying to dedicate themselves to a higher calling and to overcome certain challenges. A group that is in their head a lot and can hold themselves back by maybe dabbling in some certain patterns or habits that aren't good for you, or just getting yourself into a bit of a negative mindset and getting down on yourself and feeling as if you don't have the power or the ability to change certain habits or thought patterns. I also see a group potentially that has had some financial struggles in your path, that your relationship with money, the way that you see money, is maybe not the best, and you're being called to really face your fears about money, and about success too also, and overcoming the challenges of starting to get on top of your financial issues, or starting to believe in yourself so that you can be the most successful version of yourself. So for the next 6 months, I see this group really working on their self-confidence, both in terms of either overcoming financial issues and starting to really become quite dedicated to putting money aside and I guess facing their fears around money, but also about overcoming mental challenges and letting go of those limiting self-beliefs that you have that are really stopping you from tapping into that strong inspiration and becoming the best version of yourself. This is a group that's learning to sort of love themselves and to forgive themselves for any issues that they may have had in the past, any mistakes that you may have made in the past, or perceived failings, I sense, have been holding you back, Pile 2. And the universe and your ancestors here with the rune of Othala, your ancestors are really calling for you to make the right changes in your life that can set you on the correct path of overcoming these issues and starting to feel inspired in life again, and actually following the messages that the divine and your ancestors are giving to you. You're being called to let go of those things that aren't serving you. Let go of those things that aren't serving you. And I sense that that's either a certain cyclic pattern associated with your financial status and how you see your relationship with money, or potentially about your self-beliefs and starting to actually see that you are worthwhile and that you do have, certain traits and abilities that can really lift humanity up and that you can share with other people, and that you are a divine, loving individual that deserves love and compassion also. I sense that you've already started to do these things. You started to let go and try to change your habits, but you've really been called to become quite dedicated and disciplined in your approach to overcoming any sort of patterns that you've had in the past that haven't been serving you, Pile 2. And just know that your ancestors are here guiding you, because because they want the best for you. They want you to break the patterns that are running through, I guess, your ancestral lineage, and to be stronger and be the best version of yourself, so you can pass that on to the next generations behind you, to your children. This is all about like learning to love yourself and the relationship that you have with yourself, and potentially the relationship with certain patterns that haven't been working out for you, and how you can like see them for what they are and just sort of let go of them and admit that we all have struggles in life, and that I guess facing your fears and facing your demons is the first way to actually like taking ownership of them and seeing them for what they are. I, for one, have had some issues with finances in the past. Also, I have had certain addictions that have not been the most financially stable, let's say. And I really struggle with money, and I'm still really struggling with money a little bit too, but I'm starting to like really face those fears and actually take control and take responsibility for those things that will like start to set me back on the financial path of success. And I'm actually hoping that this channel sort of would lead down that path too, but I'm mostly doing this because it brings me passion and joy, and I like trying to help people too. Ultimately, I want to try and help people that are having similar issues to me, and I sense this is a group that's probably been through similar struggles about getting really down on yourself, having like self-doubt and limiting self-beliefs that have held you back, and you've probably got into certain patterns or addictions that have just sort of that you've utilized in a way to try and like lift your spirits in the moment, but ultimately you're now starting to realize that those things are probably the worst thing for you, and that they actually are more of a problem than a way out. But I do commend you on starting this job and this work, Pal 2, because I see here with the Ace of Wands that you're starting to feel inspired, and that you're starting to love yourself and forgive yourself a little bit more. So just keep doing the work and keep surrendering, and just know that you're on the right path and you're being supported. On that, Pile 2, let's get some further messages for you about the next 6 months, from July to December 2020, from the 5-cent tarot deck. I sense now, I see also here for you, Pile, a need to reach out to other people. And I say that because you've got the card of forgiveness, indicating that you need to forgive yourself, but potentially you could really do with hearing some compassionate words and support from other people that love and support you. With the 2 children here in the Face Your Financial Fears card, I see them just playing and holding hands, like the relationship card here with the couple holding hands. I sense that right now is a time where you could really do with getting support and love from being around people that raise your spirits, that can inspire you, like the Ace of Wands. There's a need for you to like be around people to like lift you up and to know that you're okay. To get some words of healing and compassion from people that have like maybe been through this before, or just have your back, basically. Ooh, okay. So the 2 cards that came out for you, the first card is the Death card in reverse. Fear of change and stagnation. I sense that's how you've been feeling in the past. There's a need for you to face your fears and to accept that certain things haven't been working out for you, and that you need to change your ways in order to really like move forward in life. And I see you doing that in the next 6 months. Your guides are going to be there. Your ancestors are supporting you to face your fears and to face any limiting beliefs that you have, and to really commit to this path of overcoming them. To strengthening your relationship with yourself, and to, like, I guess, to strengthen the relationship that you may have with your finances, or potentially any problems that you have in your own life. But the next card that came out also is the card of the Lovers, which is really interesting, actually, because you've got the card here of relationships and the card of the Lovers. I was tapping into an energy of you needing to be around people that love you and support you. So I think there's a deeper message there about like just being quite social right now and being around other people for support and kindness. But I also am picking up on an energy of like, maybe through the darkness you'll find the light and you'll find some love, Pile 2. There's a please take what resonates. But for you, pile 2, I see that there's a potential for a new love interest, like blooming here with the relationship card and the lovers, along with the card of forgiveness and this woman being, you know, free of pain and starting to like be compassionate and healing herself. I sense that potentially you may meet someone through doing this hard work or overcoming your challenges may lead you to meeting someone that can actually like be your soulmate or be your divine counterpart. I actually just had a thought of maybe meeting someone at some sort of like counseling group or something like that, at some sort of social networking group. Through actually overcoming or facing your fears, you may meet someone that's sort of been through certain challenges that actually like empathizes and understands you at a deeper level, and there's a strong connection there potentially. A really lovely and warm message. This is really like pushing you to keep going on your journey, and I sense that you've already started this journey. So the cards are basically saying like keep surrendering, keep working on yourself, and keep facing your fears, because it just takes time, day in, day out. You need to like own these issues and keep working on them, and eventually you'll start to like forgive yourself and let go of this pain, and love is in the cards, pile 2, which is really beautiful. And it doesn't necessarily have to be love from someone else, but I sense that through doing this inner work and continuing on your journey, you're going to start to love yourself more and more and realize how important and powerful, inspired you can be. Finally, for you, pile 2, let's get a closeout message. I've got a new oracle deck here, the Santa Muerta oracle. I haven't used them before, so I'm a bit excited to use them for the first time in this reading. But I don't know the cards very well, so I'm going to read the guidebook message. I do see a lot of brightness in these cards too. So with the forgiveness card, going from the dark and into the light with the rainbow. With the what looks like a sun shining behind the Ace of Wands there. The vibrant colors radiating from the relationship card, and even the full moon and the light like being illuminated off the full moon. I see a lot of light in your future. There's a lot of like happy vibes and light and love in your future. So once you like overcome these challenges and take a stand on those things that have been holding you back, I see that you'll be moving into the light and finding a lot of happiness. Saying that, this card doesn't look very light and happy, does it? It actually looks the opposite. What I am getting from this pile too is that your demons have been holding you back for a long time. You've allowed your demons to really bring you down and to not only hold you back like from moving forward in life and being the best version of yourself and achieving your goals, but I sense that it's been like ruminating in your head for a while. You can be quite negative and down on yourself, and it's time for you to really fight them off and to know that you have the power to overcome these negative thought patterns and these addictions or habits that aren't serving you anymore. This is a group that has a lot of power and that will be able to see so much more light once they overcome the darkness. I always like to think the people that like go through the darkest times in life hold the space for so much more light than most other people, and can really be like a beacon of hope for those people that are going through similar challenges. And I see that for you, pile 2. The cards are calling for you to overcome your own demons so you can help guide other people and share the light with those that are also battling their demons. But let's get the message from the guidebook on that one, number 17. Shadow. There we go. The level of formation begins with shadow. As if in a reflection of what comes from above, from the darkness card, the shadow represents our occult unconsciousness. Our occult unconscious, that which is silently suggests that we do not perceive and do not know how to listen to, but that inevitably influences our thoughts, our emotions, and then, on the material plane, our actions. When we are not acquainted with it, we project it externally as a negative component, thus we can do nothing but see in binary terms of good and evil, white and black. There you go. The advice for the dead is important to start analyzing yourself to gain greater awareness of yourself and your relationship to others. Otherwise it will be impossible to change and evolve. Okay. So you've been doing some shadow work already, I see, pile 2. And you're starting to forgive yourself and move on. You're going from the dark to the light. But there is a need for you to start really embracing the shadow work and to be really diligent and determined to do everything day in, day out, and really surrender to the need to like move on from your own demons, to overcome the darkness and to accept your shadow for what it is. Because these things that we sense are just like negative traits within us are actually just a part of who we are. Like, I accept that I have some demons now that I've started to face, and once you just accept that they're a part of who you are, it becomes a little bit more like easy to not give them any power, I suppose, to not sort of give in to them, to overcome them. But you need to do that day in, day out. It's a process that takes time. So remember to be like compassionate to yourself and to be consistent in your approach, and to really like ask for help from your loved ones if needed, because I see a need for you to like really be around a lot of people that can raise your spirits and support you on your journey. And just know that once you get through this, you're going to have so much power and light to be able to help other people on their journey. That's all I have for you, pile 2. I'm sorry that was a little bit dark. But there's light in the darkness once you choose to let it in. I hope that resonated with you. If it did, please like and subscribe. And let's move on to pile 3. No, pile 3. You have the rune of answers, which sounds like the word answers. It's about tapping into, I guess, some inner wisdom, knowing that you will be guided to the answers that you need. Just allowing that wisdom to surface to the light so that you can move forward on your journey. It's also associated with ancestral knowledge, wisdom that is passed down from generation to generation. Let's see how that relates to your reading by having a look at your cards and see what the rest of 2020 has in store for you. Your tarot cards. You have the 9 of Swords in reverse. You also have the 9 of Wands in reverse. Okay. 2 9s, interesting. And both of them in reverse, which is actually really lovely for those cards. You have the new moon in Leo. Lovely. Confidence is your key to success. That's some sage advice for all of us. You have the card of Dreams. Number 39, messages, signs, symbols, and guidance. Lovely. You have the card of sound, music, silence, rhythm, and vibration. I can already see where this message is going for you, pile 3. I've just realized once again. So you have the card 33 and you are pile 3. Highly synchronistic. And you have the card of positivity, faith, and optimism. You open the doorway to positive experiences and opportunities with your positive expectations and energy. Do not allow negative energy or temporary setbacks to interfere with your path that you are on. Keep the faith and keep going. Beautiful. Lovely message. So what I see instantly for you, pile 3, is a very synchronistic reading already. You have 2 9s here, both in reverse, the 9 of Wands and the 9 of Swords. You have 33 and being pile 3, 333, about expansion and growth. You have the card of Dreams, number 39, saying messages, signs, symbols, and guidance. And with the card of positivity, faith, and optimism, you are being divinely guided through signs and synchronicities to overcome grief and heartbreak. I sense that your recent past, you've felt a lot of anxiety and pain, with both the 9 of Swords and the 9 of Wands being about anxiety, nightmares even, feeling a lot of like mental grief, and the Nine of Wands indicating a feeling of being burdened or overwhelmed with your emotions. I see that you're being guided to overcome those, and I sense that you're already on your path to overcoming these challenges, pile 3, which I think is really beautiful. You're starting to trust in the signs and synchronicities from your guides and your angels that are leading you on the path to like believing in yourself, to having a lot more confidence and positivity in who you are. And you're actually starting to make inroads, I see. I sense that you're starting to be like the lion in the new moon in Leo card, and starting to stand in your power and be a little bit more confident, and to really start to shut down those negative thoughts or those feelings of being overwhelmed when they start to creep in again. I am also seeing a group that's been actively working on sort of enhancing this connection with your spirit guides, because you started to receive these divinely guided like synchronistic messages. I sense that you've put more and more effort in recently into actually like channeling those messages and connecting with the universe, and it's starting to pay dividends for you, pile 3. I also see that potentially you have the ability to receive messages through music or through sounds, whether it be through like certain animal calls that you know are your spirit animals. When they come up around you and make a noise, you know that that's a divinely guided message for you. Lyrics in music potentially that you manage to hear or just tune into, that is the perfect message that you need when you're feeling a bit down and out. Potentially through conversations that you hear on the street, you hear something that you know is just meant for you. But a group that is starting to like be able to scry messages too, through signs and synchronicities, through number patterns, through messages on billboards in your surroundings. A highly connected and spiritual group with the 2 9s here also. 9s being the end of the journey and really tapping into spirit, sort of progressing on to the next step and next phase, leveling up, pile 3. And it's all about you learning to be confident in yourself and have your own back, and know that you are sort of guided through this journey of life. So for the next 6 months, pile 3, from July to December 2020, I sense that you're just being divinely guided to continue on this journey, to keep working and connecting with your guides, and to keep sort of like tapping into this connection and enhancing this connection, and to continue to believe in yourself and to work on your self-confidence, because you are turning these cards over and now starting to stand in your power. And when you do that, you can achieve anything. Your dreams can come true when you choose to believe that you have the ability to achieve anything, pile 3, and that's what your guides are trying to sort of provide to you. I just want to read this card again. Do not allow negative energy or temporary setbacks to interfere with your path that you are on. Keep the faith and keep going. A very positive message that, you know, it won't always be peaches and cream for you, pile 3, but you're starting to believe that you have the ability to go overcome any challenge, and that you are stronger than you ever thought you were. I do also see a group that probably listens to a lot of music to like raise your vibration. I know for me, when I'm feeling really, really low, I can go for a walk and just put some music on, and by the end of the walk, I'm just feeling a lot more elated and happy. And I sense that you're the same, that you'd like to dance around the room when no one's watching and sing to whatever music that you love, and it just like raises your vibration and raises your spirits, and you feel a lot better and more vibrant again. Because you are supposed to stand in the light, pile 3. You are Leo, the lion, which is associated with the star sign of like being in the limelight and being the leader. And I sense that once you overcome these challenges and the setbacks that you've had in your past, you'll start to show other people around you that they can do it too. That if you can change your life for the better and start to like tap into this wisdom that you're receiving from your guides, and really start to believe in yourself, that you can actually show other people that they can do it too and be a leader to some degree. Yeah, just keep up the work, pile 3. This is amazing. On that, let's get some further messages for you from the 5-cent tarot deck. I've also just seen now, I've just noticed there's another little lion here too. I think it might be a tiger or something, maybe a little cub. But I'm going to say it's a little cubbed lion. So there's 2 lions in there for you. Maybe lions are your spirit animal. All about being strong and confident and standing in power. I've just noticed the sun symbol too in the dreams card. Leo is ruled by the sun. You're supposed to be confident and happy and vibrant. And I think you're on that journey already, and I commend you for that, pile 3. Very synchronistic reading with 333, the 2 9s, the card of dreams and symbols and guidance. Okay, the 2 tarot cards that came out for you are the 10 of buttons in reverse. It says here, insecurity, financial loss, and instability. But the next card that comes out for you is the 5 of buttons in reverse. And that says recovery, forgiveness. The 5 of buttons is generally, in the upright position, is the card of lacking and not having enough money to survive. It's the 2 men walking in the cold out in the snow, not seeing that there's help around them just because they're so lost in their own misery and feeling of lack. But I see that you're actually coming out of this with the card of insecurity and loss of money. And recovery here, I sense that potentially you felt so down and out. You've been stressing about your financial situation. Pile 3. But the cards are really indicating now that you're on your way to overcoming this challenge, whatever your burdens were in the past. It may be financial, it may not, but I sense that you felt as if you've been lacking in the past anyway. Either lacking in confidence potentially, or just lacking in like your material assets and not having enough basically. But I now sense that you're starting to see that you are just perfect how you are, and that you are good enough, and that you have everything that you need. You're starting to be grateful for the things that you have in life and overcoming these challenges, and it's starting to turn your world around. The cards are also indicating that potentially there will be a financial windfall or some sort of like gain monetarily if that is a challenge for you. If you continue to like work on yourself and to tap into those messages from your guides and follow your dreams too, pile 3. But most definitely you're coming out of this feeling of lack, this anxiety and whatever burden it is, and putting more and more faith in the universe and your guides. And it's paying dividends for you. Lovely. Finally, on that pile 3, I've just got a new deck that I wanted to use, the Santa Muerta Oracle deck. I haven't used it in a reading yet, so I thought I'd use it today, but I don't know the cards very well, so I'm going to get a message from the guidebook. I commend you on the work that you've done. I know what it's like to like really feel lost and low, pile 3, and as if you're like, there's no way out of the darkness. But I see that you've made a stand and you've decided to actively work on how you feel and trying to be positive and stay in that positive mindset. And it's actually paying off for you. And I do sense that if you continue and tap into like these messages, potentially it'll lead you to like financial security in some way. Oh, I actually just noticed there is a lion just there too. There's 2 lions there. Leo the lion, you're supposed to be a leader. You're supposed to stand in the light, in your power. And potentially show other people that they can overcome their challenges too, by believing in themselves and making changes. You have the card of 28. Look at that, future, present, past. And the man on the, like it's a cart, I suppose, but it kind of reminds me of the Chariot card, like taking action and moving forward. Let's see what the Oracle book has to say. There you go, action, number 28. I haven't looked at this book, so I didn't know that's what it was going to be, but it just reminds me of the Chariot card and taking action. This extremely dynamic card pushes you to continue your actions. Lovely, beautiful reading, especially in the direction of a specific choice that you will see illuminated by the sun. The sun ruling Leo. The sun in the Dreams card. You have obtained good results, but you must understand which direction to take them in. No work can become great, positive, and universal if one does not constantly act to bring it and spread it in the world. There you go. In case of the deadlock, it will be necessary to project oneself towards the future and understand where the present's problems come from, perhaps to reconsider the actions of the past. The message, the advice from the dead. You have the necessary baggage on your shoulders to face the new adventures before you. Do not fear and proceed without giving the problems of the past too much importance. That is a lovely and on-point message with what I was tapping into for this reading, pile 3. I love the synchronicities again. A very synchronistic reading, indicating that you have the ability to tap into something higher, and you are strongly guided on this journey and taking action. And you're already on the journey because you've already started to make changes that are like bringing positivity into your life, I see. And this is going to lead you to ultimate success. You're supposed to stand in the light. But don't let the problems of the past hold you back. Pile 3. Remember, there will be challenges in this journey. It won't always be a smooth road. There will be rocks and bumps in the journey. But just remember to keep going and that you are supported. To stand in the light like Leo. And to trust in your dreams and vision. That is a fascinating reading for you, pile 3. Beautiful. I hope it resonated with you. If it did, please like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. And let's move on to pile 4. Welcome, pile 4. You have the rune of Eros, which is the rune of the horse, which is generally associated with luck, actually. It's the rune of the wheel, moving forward, being lucky, having like the wind behind your back, or the wind in your sails, I should say. A rune of action also, which is great. It's a good omen for the rest of the reading. But let's find out how that relates to the rest of your cards and what July through December has in store for you. You have the Ace of Coins in reverse. Oh, you have the Chariot card. And what I see there, awesome, is 2 more horses. Okay. Lots of luck and highly synchronistic. Beautiful. Oh, you have the Void of Course Moon. Nothing will come of this situation. You have the card of Visualize Abundance in all forms. Lovely. God gave you such great spiritual power that everything you visualize eventually becomes reality. Nice. Hold a steady vision of that which is beautiful, healthful, positive, and filled with blessings, and that is what you will experience. You have the card of Insight. Nice. Understanding, awakening, awareness, and self-evaluation, with the third eye active just there. And your final card, oh, another eye. Seeing. Number 37. Perspective, truth, knowledge, and clarity. Okay. Firstly, I just want to point out that both of your Chakra Insight Oracle cards relate to the third eye. And I sense that means that you're quite spiritually in tune. You've got here the Visualize Abundance in all forms. It says here, God gave you such spiritual power. I see a group that's quite spiritually inclined, pile 4. Along with the purple related here in the Nothing Will Come of This Void of Course Moon. It's similar colors, even though it's quite dark. I'm not sure if it's coming through, but it's very similar colors to the Insight card with the black and the purple just around the moon. Indicating that you have a very active and in tune third eye. You may have some abilities of like clairvoyance, being able to see things in your mind's eye. Potentially you get downloads or just visions of the future. Strong claircognizant abilities too, I would think. Just being able to like having an inner knowing and knowing the truth before you could possibly know it. Along with Chariot, the Chariot card is associated with the star sign of Cancer, who are very like, they're very emotional, but also quite, I guess they're quite empathic, so they have some spiritual gifts there too. A very spiritually inclined group, pile 4 here. But what I sense is that you're being called to like, maybe change paths right now. You are being called to a higher purpose, pile 4. And I say that because you had the void of course moon indicating that your current path, even though it may be sort of like lucrative or it may have brought you some success in the past, I sense that you're being called now to stop and change, and that this isn't your path anymore, and you're now supposed to like visualize and understand what it is that you're supposed to do, what your life purpose is, and change direction towards your life purpose. Knowing that this Ace of Coins here can be turned upright, and it's going to be a new opportunity to be successful and bring in like wealth and abundance into your reality. Because you have the ability to visualize abundance in all forms here. The card of visualize abundance in all forms, along with the card of insight, really indicate a similar message to me of being able to like tap into like a greater wisdom and to follow the messages from your spirit guides in terms of like having your power, having the power to visualize what it is that you want to make in this reality, and then take the steps like the Chariot card towards ultimate success and abundance, pile 4. These cards are indicating that you have the ability to go from one path into starting a new path, knowing which step to take on your journey, and have amazing wealth and happiness and success. Along with the rune here of the horse, indicating a lot of luck with the 3 horses in this card, in this reading. Strong synchronicities here also with the 2 third eye cards. You are really being divinely guided in terms of actually changing your course and following a new direction and following your life purpose. So in the next 6 months, I see you starting something new that will bring a lot of inspiration and happiness to your life, and you'll just start to trust and believe in it more and more as you put more energy and effort towards this. I also sense that you have the ability, pile 4, to see a little bit into the future of what will and won't be successful. You've got the card here of seeing, the card of insight, but also with the void of course moon, nothing will come of this. I sense that you actually have the ability to like analyze certain outcomes when you make decisions and to realize which one is going to pay off the best and be the most lucrative. A strong sort of analytical group too, highly intellectual. But you must trust in those visions and those downloads that you're receiving, because they're leading you to your higher purpose, into ultimate success and abundance. And when I say abundance, I don't just mean financially. This is abundance in all forms, in terms of like inner peace, tranquility, feeling alive and motivated, having everything that you could need and want in your material world, love and happiness. Lovely reading. On that, pile 4, let's get some further messages and insight about what's coming for you in the next 6 months from July to December 2020 from the 5-cent tarot deck. I also see that you have the opportunity for rapid success too, pile 4. This isn't something that's going to happen slowly over time. I see the opportunity for rapid success with the Ace of Coins there and with the Chariot, along with visualize abundance in all forms, indicating that anything that you want, you can achieve. An opportunity to really change your life and to actually like capitalize on some new energy that will bring in rapid success and financial abundance. You're also being called, I sense, pile 4, to strengthen your psychic gifts. I see a group that has some real spiritual and psychic abilities here. A group that I would call like a channel to the divine, that may have some mediumship abilities, but strong clairvoyant abilities. You need to trust in those visions in your mind's eye. And potentially strong empathic abilities too, with the card of the Chariot there, related to the star sign of Cancer. You could really get a lot of benefits out of like meditating and doing those activities that strengthen that spiritual bond. Oh my gosh. Your first card that came out is the Nine of Cups, which is ultimate wish fulfillment. Wishes coming true. Gratitude. Contentment. Manifesting like not only abundance in terms of your finances, but ultimate happiness and satisfaction. Along with the Nine of Cups, Cups being associated with your emotions, I do see a very empathic group too. A group that really could like strengthen their spiritual gifts, and potentially that is your calling. You're being called to like heighten your spiritual gifts, pile 4, in terms of like capitalizing it and like maybe making it a spiritual business, or using these gifts to help other people and to help humanity somehow, I sense. Because that will lead you, when you actually dedicate your life to serving others and helping others, I sense that will be quite satisfying and give you a sense of accomplishment. But just remember that you actually are a very lucky group with the rune here of the horse, with the wishes coming true. You are meant to like be successful. Whatever you put your mind to, you can bring into this reality. You are a very lucky and guided group. And your final card is the Knight of Matches in reverse. It says here, recklessness, impulse, and anger. I sense that that's probably a warning for you, pile 4, to make sure that you always operate from a place of being authentic, in terms of like taking actions that are only true and righteous, not doing things that are like self-serving. I sense that you're being called to like heighten your spiritual gifts, maybe make a spiritual business out of it, or to at least use your skills to like help other people in need. And that when you hand yourself over to serving humanity, instead of like using these gifts for your own sort of reckless self-serving energy, that the universe has your back and that you will be highly successful. Lovely reading, pile 4. On that, let's get one closeout message for you from the Santa Murder Oracle deck. I've only recently started using this deck, so I don't know the cards very well. But I'm going to get a message from the guidebook just to close out. I see a group that really would do well serving humanity or helping other people with need, using these gifts in terms of like guiding people on their journey. Potentially you're meant to like start like a spiritual YouTube channel like I have also, to share your messages of love, of inspiration, of divinity. Because a group that is very spiritually connected and that I sense is meant to be ultimately successful. You're meant to stand in the light somehow, pile 4. Like the peacock here. The peacock is a very sort of like beautiful and boastful animal that's very proud of the way they look, that like likes to show off their feathers to the world. They see you being the peacock that is coming out of your shell a little bit. And when you start following these divine messages and strengthening your gifts, strengthening that connection with the divine, it's going to lead you on this path of like finding your life calling and like serving humanity somehow, standing in the light. There's your card there. Oh, wow. I see a group that I would call a starseed, actually. This is a group that I would call my starseeds in this reading. You're awakening, like the insight card here, understanding, awakening, awareness and self-evaluation. A group that's starting to awaken to certain gifts and talents. and understanding that they have a higher calling in life and that you're meant to hold the light and be a beacon of light for humanity in terms of like moving into the age of Aquarius, starting to like support other people on their journey and encouraging others to be the best version of themselves too. But you do that just by changing your own life, Pile 4, and actually following this divine guidance that you're tapping into. Strengthening your spiritual gifts and trusting in your intuition and those gifts that you have will allow you to like make the right move at every step of the way and inspire other people to change their life for the better also. A group that really can download a lot of wisdom and insight from the universe and from your spirit guides. But the message there from the guidebook. Oh, love. The love illustrated in this card is not to be confused with Eros. This card represents the original unifying force, the basis for universal solidarity that consents our evolution and change. It is a continuous phenomenon, a flow of originating from the first cry of our universe, of our galaxy, down to the planet we inhabit, a web that connects every single atom and that reminds us that our present derives from the past and that it is in our best interest to act constructively to build a positive future. Okay. The advice of the dead. Act responsibly, bearing in mind not only your needs, but also what they will cause in the environment you live in. Right. Which is why, as I mentioned earlier, the card of the Knight of Matches in reverse came out with recklessness and impulse. You're being called to, yes, take action to change your own life and to like strengthen these gifts and to follow your calling, but also to serve humanity and the world in some way, so that you can like be a beacon of light and help others. Your gifts are meant to be shared with humanity, Pile 4, as a starseed. Powerful group and a lovely reading. I hope that resonated with you, Pile 4. If it did, please like and subscribe if you haven't done so. And let's move on to Pile 5. Hello, Pile 5. I hope you're having a lovely day. You heard the rune of Laguz, which is the rune, it sounds like lagoon. It's associated with the deep subconscious, things coming to the light, dealing with, I guess, some issues or some things that you've buried into your deep subconscious. It's also about like your deep emotions too. Kind of reminds me a little bit of like, I guess, the Ace of Cups in the standard tarot, dealing with like emotional, or just strong emotions basically. Love or feelings of desire. It can also be associated with some strong sort of spiritual gifts too, like strong insight, being able to see beyond the veil to some degree. Let's see how that relates to the rest of your 2020 from July to December 2020. Let's start with your tarot cards. Your first card is the Sun card. Interesting. That's lovely, because that kind of is the antithesis, I suppose. I always struggle with that word, antithesis of Laguz. Oh, you're the Ace of Cups in reverse. Okay. Interesting. I just mentioned that the Laguz card reminds me of the Ace of Cups to some degree, like just dealing with deep emotions. Ace of Cups for me is generally about love, but when it's in reverse, it's usually about like self-love or overcoming like feelings of not being worthy to some degree. And your Oracle cards. I'll start with the Chakra Insight cards. Oh, you have the card of self-expression. Vocalization, individuality, inner voice, and assertiveness. You have the card of money, which is always nice to see. Number 14. Finances, power, generosity, and abundance. Lovely. you have the card of the full moon in Virgo. You are good enough. And finally, you have the card of ask for your needs to be met. God and the angels can come to your aid only if you wish to make free will choice to be helped. And it begins with asking. It doesn't matter how you ask God for help, but only that you do so. The same holds true with clearly asking other people to assist you. Okay. What I'm seeing for you, pile 5. Interesting, pile 5. I see 2 5s here, with 3 and 2 making 5 and 1 and 4 making 5. It's quite synchronistic. It's time for you to make a change. 5s are all about transition and change, making a change in your life. And I sense that you're being called to express yourself to some degree, with the card of self-expression here. Also with the ask for your needs to be met, with this sort of light blue cerulean color associated also with your throat chakra. You've been asked to express your truth to the world somehow and to change your life. I sense that you're being guided to speak your truth and assist other people by offering your own advice on how you've turned your life around or how you've overcome some challenges in your life, whether that be some close friends around you and family that could sort of benefit from hearing how you've managed to overcome challenges, or actually get out into the limelight and be in some sort of position of power. The universe is asking you to speak your truth and to express your voice, your own truth. And I do see that it's going to be quite lucrative for you. What I see is that you've been asked to change path, or to at least sort of stand in your own power a little bit more and believe in yourself. And when you do, and take a stand and follow, I guess, that path that you've always wanted, I see a lot of abundance coming your way, pile 5, with the card of money here. And also the Sun card being ultimate joy and satisfaction. I see the light, or the sun, shining bright on you, as if your future can be quite abundant when you actually choose to make the changes that you've been asked to make by your spirit guides and stand in your power. Start speaking your truth about how you've overcome your own challenges, or at least how you chose to believe in yourself, to feel confident in yourself, to actually follow your own dreams and desires. The universe is trying to build your confidence here. You have a gift, and I sense that your voice is a gift to some degree, or you're meant to use your voice to share with other people in some facet, whether it be through acting or singing, or just actually telling your story about how you've you've followed your own passion, basically. The universe is trying to build your confidence here with the Sun card and the full moon in Virgo. You are good enough, indicating that you have the strength and the skills that you need to be able to follow your dream. And I do sense here there's a little bit of fear or hesitancy with the Ace of Cups being in reverse. Along with the card of full moon in Virgo, you are good enough. I sense that for a while you've been wanting to change your life, or to actually take a new direction, but there's a little bit of fear, and I sense that maybe you've started to doubt your abilities, or felt that you won't be successful. You also feel that it will be a massive risk, and that potentially there will be some financial issues. I see that with the money card and with the ask for your needs to be met, that if you were to change paths and actually take a chance and believe that you can follow this dream, you're a little bit concerned potentially of whether it will be successful and actually meet your financial needs. But the universe is saying absolutely. With the money card here, the full moon in Virgo, you are good enough. And the Sun card, you have the skills and the determination to be able to be successful and to push through with any challenges that may come in your way. And just know that the universe has your back and will provide for you if you ask for your needs to be met. Let's turn this Ace of Cups in the upright position and find absolute fulfillment and happiness with our own life, because we've chosen to like believe in and make the change towards that dream that we've always wanted to achieve in our life. This is a really positive reading for you, Pile 5. You're being called to like really go after your dreams and know that you have the gifts and I guess the backing from the universe to make those dreams come true. I also see here with the full moon in Virgo that you have the determination to actually follow through with this. Virgo are a very conscientious and persistent group that just work strongly towards their dreams and goals. They also like to serve humanity in some way. So I sense that what you're asked to do, Pile 5, is to use your gift and your voice somehow to serve humanity, whether it be through a new career change, potentially being like a blogger or some sort of, or to use your voice to help heal people through music, or potentially as a counselor or a psychologist or something like that. But yes, it's time for you to start believing in your ability to actually make your dreams come true, and know that you will be both supported on that journey, but it will lead to ultimate abundance and success. Yeah, it's time for you to like start making those changes and to be determined in terms of manifesting your goals for the rest of the year, Pile 5. Lovely. And now let's get some further messages from the universe about what you can expect for the next 6 months, from July to December 2020, from the 5 Cent Tarot deck. I also see a few birds here too. So you've got the, what I think is like a nightingale in the self-expression card, and the 2 doves in the Ace of Cups. I always see doves as like a messenger from the universe, or from the angels, basically sending a divinely guided message to you. Basically encouraging you to stand in your power and to actually overcome your challenges, to believe in yourself and know that you have the strength and the will to like make your dreams come true. Okay, so your 2 tarot cards, interesting, are the 3 of Needles and the King of Buttons, but it's in reverse. It says here indulgence, greed, and stubbornness. Okay, I am sensing that for you in the past, things haven't always been so easy, Pile 5. You've potentially tried something new and it hasn't worked out for you. Along with the Ace of Cups here, there's been some heartbreak, or I guess a perceived failure to some degree, whether it be in a relationship also, or you've actually tried to change your life previously and maybe haven't fully committed to it, and so you've perceived that you've failed in the past. But I think the universe is basically calling you to like take a stand and to go for it again. With the word of stubbornness here and the King of Buttons in reverse, I see that as a positive like omen in terms of actually being quite stubborn and determined in terms of changing your life. I am also picking up on an energy here of remembering to be grateful for what you've achieved and what you've actually got in your life right now too, because if you continue to like live in a place of feeling lack, that you haven't got enough or that you're not supported, then that will be matched in your reality. So it's time for you to start to like draw upon that positive energy that I know that you have inside of you, expressing yourself through positive affirmations, to believing that you can actually turn your life around, or at least go after this dream, and that it can and will come true when you commit to it and just trust in the universe and continue to pray and ask for assistance from the universe, because the universe is saying that it will support you on this journey, but also that it will lead to ultimate success and abundance here. Lovely. And finally for you, Pile 5, I've got a new oracle deck, the Santa Muerta Oracle. I haven't used it before, but I've wanted to use it for the first time. So I'm just going to get one card and read the message in the guidebook to see what that has to say for some further insight for you. But yeah, this is a really positive reading for you, Pile 5. The universe is saying, chase your dreams here. Go after whatever it is. Stand in your power and speak your truth, and know that you are supported and that you have the strength and determination to make this come true. If you need help from friends and family, potentially it's saying that it might be time also to ask for some assistance whilst you make the changes that you've always wanted to make. And there you are. You have number 10. It's an interesting card. I am sensing that sometimes you can get in your own head a little bit too. And be a little bit negative sometimes. But it's time to like shut your mind down. It's like this totem is like biting the head off this doll. So maybe it's time to like, bite those thoughts off and to change your thoughts into positivity. To know that your needs will be met when you choose to like stand in your power and like ask for assistance from the universe, but also from your friends and family. Number 10. I am not even going to attempt to pronounce that because I'll just murder it. So good luck. It says here, the king of the dead and the afterlife, ruler of the deepest part of the underworld. Like the rune of Luguz, the underworld or the subconscious. Along with his wife, blah, 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 he forms a binary and complementary opposition of disaggregation of bodies and matter. We see him devouring a body, for rupture and fading out are the starting point for any successive work of creation and regeneration. He is the alchemic solve, the analysis before synthesis, the phoenix that dies and turns to ashes before rebirth. Lovely. The advice of the dead. It is time to look at the situation from a more in-depth point of view. To analyze the circumstances before you be putting the pieces back together. Okay. So what I'm getting for that for you, Pile 5, is yes, it's time for you to change your life, or to at least go after those things that you want that will bring you happiness in your own life. But I think there's some guidance there in terms of make sure that you have a solid plan and have analyzed the outcomes. You know where you want to go and what you want to achieve before you actually make the changes and go after whatever it is that you want to manifest in your reality. Like the star sign of Virgo, who are the most analytical and very determined, disciplined of all of the star signs. It's time to like use your intellect and to plan out the direction that you want your life to go in, and to like have a list of all of those small steps that you want to achieve in the next 6 months to make sure that you're on your way to like bringing in ultimate abundance and success. Yeah, this is a really lovely reading for you, Pile 5. Remember that it's going to bring you ultimate happiness and satisfaction too. And abundance. That's all I have for you. I hope it resonated with you. If it did, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next reading. Bye.